What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here today, you guys, with a brand new season of Tyler Perry's Sistas, you guys. Season number 7, you guys. Episode 1. Episode is titled New Beginnings, you guys. Is it a new beginnings or not? Let's discuss. But before we get into this review, you guys, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and you guys aren't subscribed yet, then I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, and sharing the video, you guys. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let's discuss Sistas, shall we? All right, you guys. So what I will say is, did I feel that the writers came in and just, I know it's going to take a while before they can really, get everything on a good footing, because Tyler never wrapped up stories on when he was writing. Did I think that this was a solid episode opening of season 7? No, you guys, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Did I hate it? Not necessarily, but I think the writers we got some things we got to work on. Like, we really got to work on some things. Now, the episode opens where kind of where we left off last week's episode, which was the season finale. Now, you guys remember, Danny went to her car and the car was busted. The windows were busted out, right? And you guys remember the man grabbed her from behind, right? So what happened is, it turned out that was all a dream. I was like, oh, it was a dream. And so Danny is in the bed with Tony. Danny and Tony are in a full-blown relationship with each other. And I was like, oh, because he kept calling her babe and baby. I was like, oh, so we in a full-blown relationship at this point. Cool. Now, Tony's thinking that, this dream may be something that is probably a part of, Danny's subconscious. And he suggests that she goes see a therapist. And then we move over to Andy, who has a new wig and a new Jordan. I hollered last night when I turned it on, because I was looking like, wait a minute, Hoppo, who this man? Turns out we got literally, we got a brand new Jordan. Do y'all like the new Jordan or not? So we find out that Andy and Jordan are having dinner with Gary and Penelope. And I was like, oh, wow, this is so interesting. Why are we doing this? I didn't understand that. Didn't understand it at all. And then, you guys, the next scene we have is Pam. One thing that didn't change, we changed writers, but Pam's acting is still terrible as hell. I was like, well, we gonna get a writer, because she's on Instagram and talking to people about Karen's grand opening. So Karen's salon is almost open. So the new name of Karen's salon is Karen's Fresh Start. And Karen comes out and Karen is finally showing. I was like, thank God Karen is finally showing. I was so over that. That was what was getting on my last nerves, was seeing Karen with this. She talking about she pregnant, but girl, ain't no baby bump the first. We're gonna talk about baby bump we're gonna talk about baby bumps in a minute, because somebody else's baby bump kind of threw me for a loop too. Not just Karen's, but somebody else's baby bump kind of bothered me in this episode. And I'm pretty sure you guys know what I'm talking about. We also found out that with Karen, Brian is no longer her contract. I was like, thank God we ain't got to see Jason Weaver's character no more. And he took a leave of absence because there were some issues within his marriage. I was like, oh, wow. So we literally just dumped that shit. I'm kind of glad that we're done with it, but okay. Pausing here, moving forward. Next up, you guys, Zach and Fatima. We find out that Michael is in foster care. And I was like, huh? He's in foster care? And shout out, I can't remember who it was last week that left it in the comment section, but somebody left it in the comment section that we were moving 3 months into the future. So shout out to y'all for that, because I would have been so confused looking at this. But it It came up later in the episode, anyways. Now we also found out. Remember the last time we saw them last week was when Zach and Fatima went over to Heather's crib, saw him tied up in the bathroom, and they took him. Well, Heather called the cops on them. I was like, wait a minute, bitch, you called the cops on them, but you had him chained up in the bathroom. And I'm pretty sure if a cop went into the bathroom, they would see that. And I guess that's what happened, because at this point, like I said, Michael's in foster care, and they're gonna have an arbitration hearing in a few days. So I guess it's gonna be his lawyers, her lawyers, and they'll figure out the best situation for Michael. I still don't think that Michael's his son, but you guys can definitely tell me what you think and feel in the comment section below, you guys. Now, Sabrina. We move over to Sabrina. Sabrina is back at the bank. Coincidentally, Sabrina is back at her old bank. And I was like, oh, so she's back at the old bank. Did you have your same job? I would have asked them people for more money, because y'all fired me and accused me of theft. So run me my funds. Run me my money. And so she called Maurice on the phone. And so we knew that two guys were leaving the show, you guys. Well, we got confirmation of who the two guys were. But Calvin and Preston. And coincidentally, they both left town with white girls. Why did the writers write that? Well, I guess they wrote that because of Tyler's previous writing, Tyler actually wrote that for Preston. But the writers wrote that Calvin left town to go be with the white girl. And Sabrina felt the way about that. And I'm like, Sabrina, why are you acting like this? Even Maurice said it, because she asked Maurice where he and Calvin going out on town for the night. He said Calvin moved with a white bitch. And I was just thinking to myself, like, Sabrina, not Calvin, but Maurice even had to say it, Sabrina, you could not accept that man for who he was. That man liked to wear lace panties. That man liked to put vibrators up his behind. You weren't okay with that. You were never going to be okay with that. So the fact that the white girl is okay with it, you feel a way about it. Don't feel a way about it. Those were non-negotiables for you, Sabrina. And that was what always got on my nerves with Tyler's writing when it came to Sabrina and Calvin. It was his back and forth. I like Calvin. I want to be with Calvin. But Calvin likes panties and vibrators up his butt. But you don't like that. You can't, that doesn't do anything for you. And now we also find out that she is with Rich. Congratulations to her. I don't really know if I trust Rich or if I trust Tony. I definitely don't trust Tony. That's hands down. JB don't trust Tony. And we move back over to Danny, right? And this is where we got the timeline where Tony told Danny that the dreams that she's been having have been occurring for the last 3 months. And he's again suggesting that she go to therapy. And Danny feels like therapy is for, and I'm going to use air quotes because this ain't JB saying it. She thinks it's for crazy people. Again, air quotes because those ain't my words. Those are not my words. I know that therapy is for a multitude of things. There are people who have, mental, and it's mental health. I know back in the 90s and the 2000s and even before that, I know people used to think that therapy is for quote unquote people who are crazy, but it's literally just people who have a mental health issue. And not even, you don't even have to be a mental health issue. It could just be some stuff that you have been dealing with that you don't feel comfortable talking to other people about. And a therapist is someone who is an impartial party. And so she found out he sees a therapist, and so she asked him, like, what do you talk about? Do you talk about me? And he said yes. And she asked him, what does he talk about? He didn't want to tell her what he talks about in therapy. I didn't care either. Now, we'll pause here and we'll move forward, you guys. Now, we moving back over to Andy and Gary. So Gary came into the house with a stank ass attitude with Penelope. That is what I want to talk about real quick. You guys remember, we met Penelope. Penelope looked like she was a good 3 months pregnant, but her stomach still looked the same. I was like, now I know not every woman gets, huge throughout their pregnancy, right? But she don't look like she looked like she's the same as she looked like she's right along with Karen. And if we jump 3 months into the future, right? Because Karen looks like she's about, so Karen is 4 months pregnant. Karen is 4 months because she was 4 weeks the last time somebody talked about it. No. She was 2 months. Karen was 2 months pregnant the last time we saw. Karen was 2 months or at least a month or a month or at least 2 months. I believe she said she was 2 months pregnant. I believe the last time she heard Andy talk, she was 2 months. So if we move 3 months into the future, Karen is 5 months pregnant. Karen is 5 months. Penelope should have had her baby. Because like I said, Penelope looks like, at that time when we met Penelope looked like she was at least 3 or 4 months pregnant. 3 or 4 months pregnant, right? So if we jump forward another 3 months, 3 and 4, so she should be at least 6 or 7 months pregnant. That woman don't look like she's 6 months or 7 months pregnant. Now, whoever deals with costumes, y'all dropped the ball with this one because she looks like she's due at the same time as Karen is due. I don't know, but hey, who cares, right? But like I said, Gary had an attitude. He's talking to what's his name? Jordan, right? Jordan is offering him some wine, and he was like, "The only thing I gotta do is stay black and unlive myself, right? But unalive, right?" I was like, "How about you do both of them?" I was like, "Actually, how about you do the latter? How about you, go down there and meet your maker who is in hell? How about you do that, Gary?" But you could look at Gary's face and just see that jealousy was written all over his face. And I was like, "Oh, God, why don't Gary go away?" And I've already talked to you guys about Sabrina being her feelings about Calvin and a white girl. I didn't understand it because Rich came down there. That she talked to Rich. I was like, "But you're in a relationship with him? Cool." Zach is beating himself up, feeling like he could have done more in this situation with Heather. And I was like, "I don't know what more you could have done." Hey, you guys, somebody leave it down in the comment section for me. Because I was watching, who was I watching? Whose video was I watching last week or the week before? I think it might have been, no, it ain't. Well, I know I was watching Misha. I think she mentioned it, but I feel like somebody else mentioned it. Or y'all might have mentioned it in my comment section. I don't know where I saw it at. Because I know Misha mentioned it, but I thought I saw it before she mentioned it. So Fatima is pregnant on Zatima. Because I knew somebody had mentioned it before. I saw it on Misha's channel. Somebody had mentioned it before. I don't remember who it was. I don't remember. But wait a minute. But so Fatima is pregnant on Zatima. Now I'm wondering, now that we've progressed 3 months into the future on Sistas, wouldn't Zatima be behind us? Isn't Zatima behind? Interesting. Because if that's the case, Fatima's not pregnant in this scene. Now I don't know how many months Fatima. I don't know if Fatima just recently found out that she was pregnant on Zatima. You guys know I've stopped watching Zatima. I might pick it back up. Watching, not reviewing, watching it. So we also find out that Zach's attorney is Andy. I was like, wait a minute, but Andy's a divorce attorney. Did somebody forget that she's a divorce attorney and not a... What happened to the white boy that was helping him? Okay, never mind. Don't care. Do not care. What else are we talking about? I realized I got ahead of myself quite a few times. We'll pause here and wrap up the episode, you guys. Karen. I don't know why Karen had a... Now, Pam is so fucking disrespectful and rude to your boss. Karen came in there with some boxes, not once, but twice. And she's like, "You don't need to be lifting this shit," and threw the goddamn boxes. I was like, "Damn, Pam." And so she was like, "Why don't you call one of your men?" I was like, oh my God, I forgot all about Aaron. Can we have 3 men go away? Actually, can we have 4 men go away? 2 of them are already gone. I'm a little sad about Preston. Never mind. I was about to lie and say I'm a little bit sad about Calvin. I'm not. But I am sad about Preston, right? I'm a miss Preston. I kind of will miss Calvin a little bit, although Calvin got on my nerves. Calvin was a good friend for Sabrina, not a lover, or a good friend for Sabrina. Uh, Thank God Bayo is gone. Q is gone. I wish Hayden was gone. I wish Gary was gone. Who else could go? Aaron can go. I really hope we don't see. I don't want to take nobody's check away from them, but baby, I don't want to see Aaron. But I think Aaron's storyline wrapped up last season too. Aaron's storyline definitely wrapped up when Karen told him she didn't want to be with him. And that's that, you guys. Next up, let's talk about Sabrina. Sabrina, like I said, she's back at the same branch. Old position, I would have asked for a damn raise. Karen is back to being the bitch that she's always been. And I don't understand it. Because prior to the time jump, you were good with, you were being so nice and sweet to Fatima. You were being so nice to Zach. But now you talking about Fatima's wig. Karen, you the last person to talk about anybody's wig with that old wayward shit that you've had on your head for the last few seasons. Then talking about Zach's lineup. Mama. You're the last person to talk. That's all I got to say. Then we end the episode with Gary. Gary asks Andy, why are they there? Andy says that Jordan wants to see his sister and that they wanted to lessen any tension that's going on between them. And Gary's like, oh, the tension, when you were trying to flip my fiance against me. Gary, you did a good enough job of that yourself, sir. You do not love this lady. You do not like this lady. Now, we also find out that Jordan is running for city council and Gary donated $100,000 to his campaign. Then after that, Gary had to go to the bathroom. Oh, God, you guys, this is where things got hella nasty for me. So Gary went into the bathroom. Gary is in his feelings about this situation with Andy being with Jordan. This fool went into her underwear drawer, pulled out some used panties, and started sniffing them. I was like, oh my God. Now, I ain't judging nobody's kinks. I'm not judging that. But this is like, you downplayed the hell out of Andy. Andy meant nothing to you, but you in her bathroom sniffing her panties. Make that make sense. Then, they were like, Gary's been gone for a while. And Penelope's like, yeah, I'm gonna go check on him. Went in the bathroom and that man was giving palmisha to his little Gary. And then he had the nerve to say, I gotta go to the bathroom and drain the dragon. Ew, Gary, nobody wants to hear that. But that's the episode, you guys. Let me know what you guys thought about it down in the comment section below. You guys subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, share the video, you guys. Until next time, stay safe, take care of yourselves, wash your hands, be blessed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. And let me know, how did you guys feel about the first episode of Sistas with the writers? Did you like it? Was it man? Let me know, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.